Hello, and welcome to another episode of Artcraft Crowfall Q&A. I'm J. Todd Coleman, Creative Director.
And I am not Thomas Blair.
No, you are not
I am
Thomas
not.
Blair. So we're recording this tomorrow is New Year's, right?
Saturday,
Day after
Sunday,
tomorrow's.
yeah.
So we're recording this right before the end of the year, and the office is basically empty at this point. Gordon's gone, Blair is gone. You're still here, though.
Somehow, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Because we had to do an Ace Q&A, I was like, hey, Doggett, why don't you come in and answer some questions?
And I love the camera and it loves me, so
That's
why
true.
not?
Absolutely. Okay, so Doggett, let's ask you question number one. Is the goal still to have 1,000 plus per players concurrently per campaign?
No. Right now the goal is just to have me in the campaign world. Or I'm the only survivor. Like I kill everybody else and it's just me.
Okay, so the actual answer to that is yes, that is still the goal. My goal is to have up to 2,000 concurrent on a single campaign world. We'll see where it falls. Anything north of 1,000 is probably fine. That doesn't mean they're all going to be located in the same general area at once. I don't know what we're going to do as far as gating and things like that. Will we have to? We might. We managed to figure out a way to not do that in Shadowbane, but we'll see. We're going to see how it all plays out. We haven't really spent a lot of time yet optimizing the server. We're working on it some in the background, but it's kind of tough to do while you're still also shoving new systems and content online.
It's true.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, great job on the first question.
Nailed it.
Question number two. What happened to the stretch goal that was achieved for to hire a QA lead?
Well, we hired him.
We did.
He crossed me.
Okay. Okay. And then what happened?
No new stretch goal to hire a replacement, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the actual answer on this one, I just have Doggett here for comic relief so that you guys wouldn't just have me talking to the camera. The actual answer on this one is eventually we will hire that person, but the goal of a QA lead, as indicated in this question, was so they could talk to us more. That's not the goal of a QA lead. The QA lead is not going to be talking to the community. That's community management. The goal of the QA lead really is to help us track through and go through the bugs. Right now, that job is falling largely on Max and Gordon and myself, so the work is still being done. If I had the money to hire a QA lead, I would use that money to hire another server engineer.
Yeah. Well, and we also do a lot of QA in-house.
We
Seriously,
do, constantly. Everybody does.
Yeah, we do play tests on my first job in the industry was QA lead.
That
actually.
is true. That's where you met Cook, right?
That's where me and Cook met. Yeah, that
that's
was our
right.
first job. So,
Were you better at QA than he was? Because you claim to be much better at animation.
I claim to be much better at animation, but it's mainly a confidence thing. You have to keep his confidence down.
That makes sense.
Or else he'll realize he's better than me.
Right, yeah, we don't want that. Yeah, we don't want that to happen. So, all right. Related to that, how do you track players' submitted bugs and feedback internally in the long term after the forum threads? So the forum threads are basically a way for us to kind of aggregate stuff, not just line item bugs, but also get a general feeling for how the quality of any given build looks. We make Max go through all that, is the quick answer. Then we move all of the actual bugs into a list in Jira, which is a bug tracking system, and then they get prioritized, they get assigned, they get to put into various releases, they get retested to see if we need more information. A lot of people, when they submit a bug, don't include enough information, so we'll go back and ask for videos or steps to reproduce. The videos are incredibly helpful. So if you happen to be streaming and you can point us to a stream and say, hey, this bug, you can see it at 12 minutes and 34 seconds or whatever. That's incredibly helpful. So we do read the forums. We go through, we track all that information. Please keep it up because it's incredibly helpful to us because right now we're relying on internal resources and you guys, we just don't have the funds and we're not quite there yet, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
I was just going to say, we don't read the forums. No. I'll read it when I want to laugh.
You don't read the forums?
Oh. Well, every once in a while I do a forum search for my name.
Okay.
And
so you read it just to read either flattery or insults about you personally?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
that makes
more
sense.
Insults, please.
Yeah, I read the forums on a daily basis, and I know Gordon does as well. So I guess it just depends on who you are on the team and how seriously you take your career. Skill queuing. This is a question about skill queuing. So now that the skill system is up, it's pretty neat. It's cool that you can log into the lobby. Even when the game servers are down, you can adjust your skill training. So this is a question of, could we set up a system to allow me to automatically queue up the next skill so that when this one ends, It's not just go. It doesn't just go empty, and I'm basically wasting time that I could be using training another skill. So, have I talked to you about this? Do you know anything about this?
Absolutely. I think it's one of these things to, like, every time you queue a skill, it's like $10.
Just flat out charge for it?
Yeah. Like, it's not pay to win. It's pay to continue queuing the skill.
That's not...
I don't know where I'm going
none
with
of
this.
that
Like,
is accurate.
This is actually going to be just like, this is the only part that somebody's going to listen. They're like, I knew it.
So we have talked about queuing. We don't have it on the schedule yet. One of the options we've talked about with queuing is with skill queuing is to make it an option that is available to VIP. We're trying to find more ways to drive value for VIP members that isn't just considered pay to win. This seems like a pretty good one because technically a person who is just on top of their game and just logs in, they're not at any disadvantage to somebody who queues. So it clearly is a convenience, and it seems like it's enough of a convenience that it'd be a great thing for VIP players to get. So it's still something we're debating and discussing internally. I don't think we're ready to make any firm claims about it just yet, but I don't know. We'll get back to this one because I do think there's a good idea there.
Yeah, it's one of these things that, like, wait and see. Like, what is there a real need for it?
Yeah.
And if there's a need, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Here's another question, which is, are you going to make food tick down even when your character is offline? And the answer to that is no, we're not. The problem is, and we just had to actually put in bruised apples to deal with this, is we got into a state where you could find yourself starving, and because you're starving, you were unable to do the things you needed to do to get yourself out of starvation mode. And survival games, starvation has a great purpose, but I don't want it to be so debilitating that it literally cuts off your gameplay experience. That's not what we're going for. So no, food will not tick down while you're away from your character. That seems like that might just be a little too harsh.
Yeah. And what are they doing in the downtime to require them to eat? Or like all
What's the character doing while they're offline?
Yeah.
They're training their skills.
Train their skills. Okay.
Not really. Their crow is training. I mean, it's a game. I don't think anybody's could be confused by that.
Sleeping peacefully.
Yeah, I like to think that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're in a cryogenic sleep.
You don't need food.
All right. So what's next on the milestone delivery schedule? What are we working on next? Do you know? Do you know what we're working on next? What are you working on right now?
Don't work.
What's Cook working on right now that you're taking credit for?
Oh, yeah. Well, Cook's working on the resurrection system, like the crows entering the dead bodies, the vessels.
Okay.
So that it feels more like you're the crow instead of you're the vessel.
How do you have that working right now? How does it look? What were you going for on this one?
So when the crow gets near the dead body levitates up. It's not possessed, and then the crow flies into it, and we do like the Highlander quickening, and then they land. They get into the action
from the first movie, because all the other Highlander movies were crap.
Have you ever seen the fifth one?
There's not a fifth one.
There's a fifth one. Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
The fourth one, Connor dies.
McLeod of
Connor
the Clan McLeod.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Spoiler for Highlander 4, which is probably like 10 years old and a shit movie anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks for the spoiler.
What are we working on now?
Yeah, what are you working on now?
That's the current thing, and like supplementing harvesting, doing some more harvesting stuff.
How about the shovels? Do you have the shovel animations in yet for grave digging?
For the night.
For the night. Okay, so
we got to probably get that out.
One character now can dig up body parts. What do you think of the grave digging system? Do you think it's gross?
I love it. I mean, where else are you going to get the body parts?
Yeah. So, do you know anything about the grave digging system? Can you talk about it?
The only thing I know is this is how, like, the grave digging system is all like a part of the necromancy.
Yep.
Of building the vessels. So you have to get the body parts to make the bodies to possess the bodies.
That's right. So you seek out the appropriate graves.
Yeah.
You dig up the body parts, which are little doobers, but they look fairly gross, I think.
Yeah. There's doobers for everybody. There's Ganetian hands. There's horse legs.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
Aaron's
I
been
call
doing
it
a good
meat.
job.
I'm like, hey, go dig up some meat. It's just a generic term for all of the body parts is meat. It kind of looks like that Bodyworks art exhibit, right, where they pull the skin off.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. So you collect the meat, and then you take it to a necromancer, and you use those pieces as crafting pieces to create new vessels. It's a morbid and grim thought. So I want to thank all of you for tuning in for our first 2017 beginning of the year Ace Q&A. I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. And next time, we'll probably bring Blair back. No offense.
None taken.
And also, we're going to be doing a telethon that I'm very, very excited about. Are you excited?
I am. There's some plans.
We have some interesting plans in the works to keep you fellows and ladies entertained.
Yeah, just tune in.
Yeah,
just watch
tune in.
it. You have no idea.
You don't know what you're in for.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic. All right, I think that's it for this month.
See you in the game.
See you guys.